My name is Matt Reardon, and I'm an independent investigative journalist and reporter. On December 6, 2021, I discovered a key court record in Lafayette County Circuit Court that I fully believe was fraudulently altered. This just so happened to be the second time this has happened over the past year, on two currently open, active filed matters of mine in Circuit Court. When pressing in for answers as to how this could have happened, the Lafayette County Circuit Clerk, Jeff Busby, got highly defensive and told the other clerks not to answer any of my questions. He even acknowledged he had never seen or heard of this happening before. Mr. Busby then communicated out to the Lafayette County Sheriff, Joey East, in order to try to get rid of me due to the newest significant issue discovered and undoubtable issues that would come from the discovery. East's motive in the matter is very clear to see when taking into consideration key facts based upon numerous erroneous and concerning findings that have more recently surfaced regarding the Lafayette County Sheriff's alleged involvement in a matter dating back to 2017. Even more alarming is the fact that the latest record fraudulently altered in Circuit Court that was discovered by me just so happened to be a matter that I was appealing from Lafayette County Justice Court, where East deputies and even himself gave false sworn testimony in order to contrive a conviction based upon lies. The very next day, December 7, 2021, Lafayette County Sheriff Joey East rose to the occasion once again in passing obnoxious lies and complaints centered around constitutionally protected activity as a journalist, reporter, and credentialed member of the press to an employee of Communicare by the name of Rachel Alcorn, with a predisposed plan to exploit the state's mental health laws by cutting corners, ignoring required procedure under state law, and seeking to separate a husband and father of four from his family in a grueling, sickening act that undoubtedly would align with not only the feeling, but the legal definition of human trafficking. And this they were successful in doing, at the expense of both me and my family, when no crimes were ever committed and the entire procedure was botched through and through. At approximately 5 p.m. on December 7, 2021, upon returning home from a doctor's appointment for one of my children, I was taken into custody at my residence in front of my wife and child based upon false claims and a sinister, cowardly attack on an independent journalist in order to suppress the reporting of fraud to not only the public, but the proper authorities for the dishonesty which took place on open legal matters stemming from the Lafayette County Circuit Court and Circuit Clerk's office. Situated right behind me is the Lafayette County Circuit Court. On December the 6th, 2021, I discovered records for the second time being fraudulently altered out of Lafayette County Circuit Clerk's office. The day after all this happened, Sheriff Joey East tendered over lies to an employee of Communicare by the name of Rachel Alcorn, who then filed an affidavit based on the false information that was given. Fast forward the tape to February 9th. As you'll see, I was at the Lafayette County Sheriff's Department trying to get the financial report for the Lafayette County Law Enforcement Officers Association, which was co-founded by Sheriff Joey East as well as Deputy Sheriff Scott Mills. The day after asking for this information, which I was told it would take approximately a week to a week and a half to get, I was fraudulently committed for the second time by Communicare. This is Matt Reardon, and I'm standing over here at the Lafayette County Sheriff's Department. Wednesday, February 9th, I came up here to the Sheriff's Department to inquire on a couple of matters. First one being the Lafayette County Law Enforcement Officers Association, co-founded by Sheriff Joey East and Deputy Sheriff Scott Mills. This 501c3 nonprofit organization has been in business for approximately 20 years. I asked for the financial reports, the financial data on this nonprofit organization just to check it for erroneous errors and make sure that there is no funny business going on among the local law enforcement here in Oxford, Mississippi, particularly Sheriff Joey East. Approximately 2:45 in the afternoon was whenever I came up here on the 9th. Spoke to Joey East and Scott Mills. I was told it would take about approximately a week and a half to get those records. However, the following day, I was again committed by Communicare who I've been told that Sheriff Joey East has familial ties with. I think the Lafayette County Sheriff has a couple of questions that he needs to answer. A little bit more than a coincidence that on 2 separate occasions, the day after certain information is sought, I end up getting committed, courtesy of Communicare.
Brady, what's happening?
What's going on?
Not much. What you doing?
I got some questions for you.
I ain't got no time for you today.
I got a question. I'll walk with you.
I don't want you to.
So, Lafayette County Law Enforcement Officers Association. How do I go about getting the contributions, the financial report of it?
You have to talk to the president.
That would be you. You and Scott Mills are the incorporators.
I'm not the president.
Well, you're an incorporator. Also, being at the U.S. Attorney's Office, they still have y'all's investigation open on the drone. How is it that y'all have jurisdiction and they have jurisdiction? Would that not, first of all, y'all are out of jurisdiction, but second of all, would that not equate to double jeopardy even if y'all were to pursue it and they were? So that's a ploy to hold on to those public records, hold on to that body cam and to the officer reports that are requested back in September. I need those, Sheriff. I'd like some answers to it because there's no excuse in that. It's uncalled for.
Have a good day.
All right, man.
Hey.
What can I do for you?
You and Joe are the incorporators of Lafayette County Law Enforcement Officers Association.
Or the what?
The incorporators.
All right, go ahead.
Y'all started.
We helped start it.
Y'all both, as a partner, went in, I believe, with Jeff Davis.
It's like it was a bunch of law enforcement officers.
Yeah. How do I go about getting a financial statement of? It's a nonprofit, so that should be publicly divulgeable.
All right, we can get you one.
Okay. Also, I spoke with the U.S. Attorney's Office yesterday, and at my surprise, apparently it is still open over there on the drone incident. I thought it was closed out, and like I said, I've taken a test with the FAA. When the FAA tells me that I'm a hobbyist and I was simply taking the drone up for the 7-year-old that was
All right,
with me.
have you got another?
Yeah, I want to know how they are the proper authorities, how y'all can have cross jurisdiction and keep your own investigation open into the same matter when y'all don't even maintain the jurisdictional authority in the first place, to prosecute me for that and potentially me face prosecution by the U.S. Attorney's Office would leave me open to double jeopardy, as you know, and
All right.
you can't prosecute.
I'm not
me for both.
discussing all that. You want to ask me anything else?
Yeah, I need to get once again, I want to reassert that back at the end of September, I requested the body cam and the officer reports of the deputies that were on scene. That shouldn't be a very difficult report or request to fulfill.
Which incident?
For the drone incident.
That's all part of this. It's all part of the same thing.
Well, I understand that, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that since they have it open, y'all are leaving it open simply to obstruct and not comply with that request. That is a basic request.
Anything else you want to ask?
That's a basic request.
Anything else you want to ask?
How is it that y'all can have something open
Okay.
and they can have something
I
open?
see you. Have a good day.
How do I get that financial statement?
We'll get it just check back about the middle of next week.
Takes that long to get it?
Sure.
Takes that long to doctor it up, huh?
But they weren't taking appointments then, so.
Never mind. Thank you.
This is Matt Reardon. I wanted to document this live on Facebook. For the second time, Lafayette County Sheriff's Department pulls into my driveway with another mental writ, apparently this time signed by Communicare, again, after the first fraudulent commitment that happened December 6th, or December 7th, which stemmed directly from me finding Lafayette County Circuit Court fraudulently changing records for the second time in a year, based on lies, pure lies, that stem from the Lafayette County Sheriff Joey East. The most ridiculous of lies. My wife just got out of the hospital, and we can't even live in peace without constant harassment. This would clearly be the other one, probably. Look at this. Facebook Live. Pull into the driveway, light it up with blue lights, wake up the dogs, wake up the kids. Somebody has got to put a stop to this. This is nonsense. It's bullshit.
Hey Matt, I know you know what's going on. We got the writ.
Joe, this is crazy. We just got out of the hospital. Y'all will not stop fucking with me.
You didn't go get your treatment.
Bullshit, I did.
No, you didn't.
How?
You didn't call. You scheduled your stuff. Didn't go to the
I
stuff.
did. I sent a legal demand letter because it was fraudulent since day one. Everything stemmed from complete lies, perjured lies that came from Joe East. That was proven. Y'all didn't follow, the whole entire proceeding was sham. They didn't follow Mississippi law when it comes to commitment proceedings. They broke federal law. Federal and state law, there was a legal demand sent to Communicare. They had 7 days to respond. I was waiting on a response. They have no right, absolutely no right to do this. This is complete bullshit.
Well, Matt, there's paperwork.
I don't care. This is bullshit. No.
I understand where you're coming from.
No, I'm not. Nah. Fuck no.
All right, let's get him. Come on, put your hands behind your back.
Let me read it. Let me read it first.
I'll let you read it when we get to jail.
Let me read it first. Let me read it first before you take me into custody. All right. Let me end it. Let me end. I can't end it. Baby, come get my phone. Hey, baby, get my phone for me.
Yeah, I got it. I ain't gonna deliver. Promise.
Baby, and let me get my voice recorder out of my pocket. Can I get my voice recorder?
Which pocket?
I don't want that going to the jail. Baby, can you come?
We don't want it in the jail.
Can you get everything? Can you call an attorney too?
Yeah, why are there so many cops here?
I don't know. They're waking up the dogs. They're fucking.
No.
We just heard him hollering on the radio.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
That's why.
I'm just curious.
This is bullshit.
Oh.
What's up, Oxford, Lafayette County? Matt Reardon, the Oxford Outlaw. What you see next to me right now is something actually very interesting. I want you to take note of this. I know that I am being shadow banned across all
of social media. I hate it. Undoubtedly, this will be shadow banned as well. This is a very, very important message that I have to share with you. So I'm going to encourage everybody who sees this to help me out a little bit. Hit the like button and hit that share button. Okay? Share it to your profile. Share it to any groups, especially if you have any groups that are around Oxford and Lafayette County, because this is something that's very, very concerning. What you see next to it, what it is basically, it's a notice of destruction. It's a letter of destruction posted by the Lafayette County Sheriff's Department. On there are 16 things listed. I want you to know that what's very important about this is that in 46 years' time, there has been no letters or notices of destruction except for this. This is the first one. There have been no public auctions on any items that have been seized by the Lafayette County Sheriff's Department. And it's been a lot of stuff that's been seized over the years by the Lafayette County Sheriff's Department. Take me, for example, back in 2017. They ended up taking a pistol. They took a AR-15. They took a bulletproof vest. They refused to return those items. Okay? Insisted on keeping them. By law, this stuff has to be released via a letter of destruction, a notice of destruction, and either get destroyed or go to a public auction. Now, in 46 years' time, this is the first notice and letter of destruction. 16 items are listed on it. There are a lot more than 16 items that are seized by the Lafayette County Sheriff's Department every year. A lot more. I mean, there were 3 that were seized from me. Of course, none of the 3 are listed on this notice of destruction. Something to definitely think about. Another interesting fact that I want you to keep in mind. Under the Mississippi Constitution, the sheriff of any county answers to no one except for the governor of the state. That would be Governor Tater Reeves. I think it's about time that Governor Tate Reeves start doing some probing, asking some questions. Damn it, demanding some answers from the Lafayette County Sheriff as to where all these items seized are disappearing to. It's certainly a cause for concern. There's certainly been multiple instances, red flags that have been raised, things that have been called into question here in Lafayette County. Bill of Rights, constitutional rights, due process rights being deprived. And there is one of the largest, I'm here to tell you, there's one of the largest criminal rackets that I have ever personally witnessed, seen, or even heard of here in North Mississippi that stems right here out of Lafayette County. It's called the Lafayette County Racket. If you haven't seen my videos, if you haven't seen the evidence of everything. About the witch hunt that completely deprived me of all of my due process rights back in 2017. It kept me from speaking at City Hall on the day of the mayor's election. It kept me locked up, suppressed. A week before Tana Hill was elected, until a week after she was sworn into office, and then banished me from Lafayette County, made me sign a covenant to not sue Lafayette County, the Sheriff's Department, the City of Oxford, any elected officials, or any employees. That should concern and frighten every American. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. The fact that they can do that to me means they can do it to you, do it to anybody else. Next. It's all about precedence. Hold your people accountable. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. Even worse, June 6, 2017, the Lafayette County Sheriff, the current Lafayette County Sheriff, Joey East, who at the time was actually the police chief of Oxford Police Department, sent an email out to the mayor and the Board of Aldermen on May 26, 2017. That just so happened to be the same day that I was ambushed on the square in Oxford by 4 sheriff's deputies, arrested for a crime they wouldn't tell me until they got me to the jail. It was a crime that literally was an impossibility for me to have committed. An impossibility. They said on or before May 8th, I put Todd and Ashley Lynch in fear of their life with an AR-15. Funny thing is, I didn't purchase the AR-15 until May 20th. I had a bill of sale proving that I didn't purchase the AR-15 until May 20th. Didn't matter. They gave me a $150,000 bond, wouldn't give me the right to speak and show the exculpatory evidence through the bill of sale. But Joey East sent an email out to the mayor and the Board of Aldermen on the same day that I was ambushed on the square in Oxford, calling for changes to 2 city ordinances in Oxford involving the carrying of weapons, of guns. They effectively, and they pushed it through on the upcoming Board of Aldermen meeting, June 6th. I was actually on the agenda to speak out directly after Joey East. They suppressed me. They locked me away for 6 weeks' time. And they effectively pushed through changes to 2 city ordinances, basically overnight, stemming from an email that the current sheriff sent to the mayor and the Board of Aldermen seeking changes to 2 city ordinances. I've got this information. It's on mattreardon.com. Look at the evidence. Really, ask yourself if you have the right people in positions of power calling shots that are going to affect your future and your family's future for years to come. What they're going to do with the power that they have and the precedents that they've set, because it's beyond scary. And this has got to be dealt a crushing blow. They cannot be allowed to continue on getting away with this type of nonsense. I've got a message for Joey East, for Sheriff Joey East. After a year's time of assisting and trying to make me somebody that I'm not, after 17 police reports over the last 4 or 5 years,
Liz Crowder, after the never-ending evidence of criminal conspiracy that has made its way to the surface, after all the time that's been lost, after all the time that I lost with my daughter, all the time that the Sheriff's Department has lost, that they could have helped other people that truly needed assistance, but instead want to continue feeding into the hands of Liz Crowder. Taking more reports that pan out to be more false reports. At some point, refusal to take action would have to make me seriously pose the question of if the Lafayette County Sheriff is a competent position for you to hold. I say that for a reason. Because some way, somehow, regardless of having audio evidence, video evidence, you name it, this county will find a way to try to pin something else. But it never ends. They will take whatever lies and bullshit that Liz Crowder comes up with to justify her reason for keeping my 6-year-old child from me, when at the end of the day, the number one reason is to influence ongoing legal proceedings. It's something that it's no new claim. None. She's just dumb enough to continue repeating it, and the Sheriff's Department is clearly complicit enough to continue taking reports instead of shutting her the hell down.
Joey East. How you doing, sir?
What you doing out here in the parking lot?
I needed to get a little Q&A with you.
I don't do Q&As.
You don't do Q&As?
No.
Well, can you answer a few questions for me?
No, I can't.
Why is the county not wanting to comply on the public records request? You told me...
You probably have to ask the county, man.
You told me that if I submitted it, y'all would comply. That was the last time that we spoke.
I told you we'd look at it.
You said no. You said that we'll comply. You said submit it and we'll comply. Why haven't I gotten? Why haven't I gotten the? Really, Sheriff, is this really the position you're going to take? Why won't you even answer that?
Ambushes, so.
Look, hey, y'all will not respond to anything, any email, any public records request, anything. I want to know why. I am holding our county officials accountable for this. You know I was framed. We've already had that discussion, Joey.
You plead guilty?
You know I was framed.
You need to plead guilty?
Huh? That was one of your ringleaders right there.
Plead guilty, Matt?
That was one of your ringleaders right there.
Matt, did you plead guilty?
You know that y'all coerced me.
Did you plead guilty?
Y'all coerced me under stress and used my daughter.
I did?
Yeah, y'all twist. No, the Tannehills did. Is who really did it.
Let me ask you something. Did you plead guilty? Did you plead guilty?
I followed
That's
the
a fair
sham
question for riding
advice.
with the outlaw.
Okay, well,
Did
hey,
you plead guilty?
why are y'all trying to protect? Who are you trying to protect? Is it that there's no call that came in, or is it that there's somebody like Robin Tannehill or Ray Tannehill that's on that call? I want to know.
Did you plead guilty?
Who's on the call?
Did you have an attorney? And did you
Who's
plead
on the
guilty?
call?
I don't
Was
know
there a
what
call
you're
or was
talking
there not a
about,
call?
man. I don't know what call
It was,
you're talking
but it
about.
was on the police report
think
that I
you
got
probably
from
need
May
to go-
30th.
Whatever medicine you're off, I think you need to go take
Really?
some medicine or something.
Really?
Because I don't understand what you're talking about.
The response of the
And you
sheriff.
pled guilty.
The response of the December 28th, when I came up here, when I got thrown on the ground, I came up here because I sent you multiple emails about Liz Crowder filing false affidavits in court. That's it. The statute is filing a false instrument, and it falls under that. I know that the court, ultimately, it's up to them to hit her with perjury, but there are crimes that she's steadily committing. I mean, a year I went without seeing my daughter. She's back at it again. She's back at it again because you guys keep enabling.
You feed into it, you take a report. That's why there's so many reports on me, like 17 just over the last 4 years. I mean, when's it going to stop? And what about the email, May 26th? That you sent out, May 26, 2017, you sent out to the mayor about the new proposed gun laws in Oxford. You were pushing to change. Isn't that a coincidence? The day that I get ambushed in Oxford, you sent an email out. No, it's not okay. If we're going to look at conspiracy as in a plot between two or more people, then yes. If we're talking about conspiracy from a standpoint of hocus pocus, just making stuff up, no. You sent an email that it's on the internet. It was on the internet because it was part of the agenda that was published on June 6th. I was supposed to speak right after you. After you spoke, you came back at the end of the meeting because there were 2 bullet points where you were supposed to discuss the new proposed gun laws in Oxford. And I think it's a coincidence that May 26th, the day everything happened, nobody ever wanted to look into Todd Lynch and the threat that he made, calling for the community to come together to do something about Matt Reardon. But, you know, my kids have been directly affected by this. I lost 4 houses over the last 4 years. It's not fair for me to be carrying around a fake tag, a felon and stalker, knowing that not only did I not commit the crime, but it was an impossibility to have been committed. Impossibility.
Let me say this. I appreciate the point. Don't come back in with the camera.
Okay.
Why were you parked in that spot?
I parked in that spot because the driver's side window was knocked out of my car. I did have a tarp there. Where I was parked, I could not hardly see when the sheriff was coming out through the rear view mirror. I couldn't see the side view mirror, and I simply wanted to speak with the sheriff because I couldn't get a response from him.
And why did you think that sign didn't prohibit you from parking there?
Well, there's the jail and the sheriff's department. If I figured the sign would have said for sheriff's deputies only. It had to have said authorized for official vehicles only or for sheriff's deputies only. I would have inferred it to be that. It's saying sheriff's department, reserved for sheriff's department. I was there on what I felt was official business to address the sheriff about a redress, about a grievance.
The judge who you're trying to get at, Sheriff, he's
well, for approximately 12 months, the 12 months leading up to that, the mother of my minor child, who was 6 at the time, I had not seen her in 12 months. She had actually, prior to that, it was a false allegation of rape that was levied against me by the mother of my child, who then decided to live out a 12-month lie that Department of Child Services.
I'm going to interpose an objection. What's the relevance? We've got chancery courts in every county in this state, and not to mention Lafayette. We've got the luxury of having 2 chancellors here, and I think they'll give you an audience whatever you want as relates to child custody, child rearing, and the law, family laws, and grandmothership. I don't know why we've got to litigate that here, and I don't know, quite frankly, why he would be contacting the sheriff in that regard.
Your number was correct. I tried calling earlier. The deputy just got back a few minutes ago and spoke to her, saw your daughter, she's fine. Spoke to Phyllis.
Yeah.
And she stated that she was following what the child custody services were telling her, and you could not see the child, and she just waited to see what the court did.
The child custody services closed it out and said that she was that she was making false claims. They closed everything out. They investigated it. That's incorrect.
I don't doubt anything you're saying, but that's what she told us, and said no, she did not want you over there.
I don't want to go back to Mom. I want to see you for a long time. And I stay home all night.
How exciting.
I think if you'll let him answer the question, question. He'll tell you why he's contacted the sheriff, but as to relevance, there was suggestions by the sheriffs that he might have been there to ambush or do some bad. This goes to responding to that to show that his intention was not there to do any bad, but to try to enlist the law as he had been instructed by another department of the state to do in order to obtain some visitation rights. What about, you had your cell phones in your hands? Did you, what'd you do with those?
Whenever I was taken to the ground, it was Deputy Dick. One of the phones had come out of my hand when I was tossed to the ground. The other phone, Deputy Dixon grabbed it from my hand and chunked it at the ground.
That day, did you send him emails while you were sitting in the parking lot?
Yes, sir.
Do you want the court to see those emails?
I would like the court to see those emails. I think they're very relevant.
The emails that you sent, well, the first email, what's its date?
It was Sunday, the 27th of December. And
is that the day before this incident?
Subject, criminal conspiracy.
Is that the day before this incident?
Yes, sir.
All right. In the second email, what's its date? And give its time too, please.
Second email is Monday the 28th at 4:32 p.m.
Okay. Was that sent before or after you got to the Sheriff's Department jail parking lot?
That was before.
All right. Then the third email, what's its date time?
Third email is Monday the 28th at 5:06 p.m.
All right. Was that before or after you got to the jail Sheriff's Department parking lot?
That was after.
As I pulled in, I noticed that Matt's car was a little black hatchback-like car was parked over facing Jackson Avenue. And so I pulled in, I got out of my truck, went to the back of it, and stood there because I was assuming he probably wanted to see me because he'd sit in a couple of emails. Stood there for a few seconds. Matt never got out. Usually he's there waiting on me if I come. So I went in to go inside, got in the office. And as I was sitting down, I heard a high-pitched scream. I actually assumed that there was someone being assaulted, a female was being assaulted outside.
When Joey wants to talk to me, I'll move. Otherwise, I'm not breaking any law just for parking in a spot that says reserved for the Sheriff's Department. I'm here at the Sheriff's Department.
Or you will go to jail for disorderly.
I'm not being disordered. I'm moving my car! I'm moving my car! I was moving my car! Ah! Really? Ah! I thought I was moving my car! Oh! Stop! Ah! August 4th, 2021, Lafayette went to trial for 9 separate charges placed against him by Lafayette County Sheriff's Department and his ex, Phyllis Liz Crowder. 2 of the 9 charges came from a situation resulting in an alleged disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. December 27, 2020. December 27, 2020, an email was sent to Sheriff East with criminal conspiracy in the subject line, reporting alleged crimes involving the harboring and exploitation of Lafayette's firstborn child, LER, which was opened approximately 2 hours later by the sheriff. An investigation and assistance in stopping it was requested, yet no response came from Sheriff East, and this is the sole reason that brought Lafayette to the Sheriff's Department, seeking assistance of the sheriff due to the alleged crimes continuing to be committed. Lafayette claims the complaints alleged were ill-brought, retaliatory, and relied upon mob domination and the knowing use and introduction of perjured testimony by Lafayette County Sheriff's Department, in particular Deputies Dixon and Tidwell, and that both perjurious and defamatory statements were given under oath by the Lafayette County Sheriff Joey East. Lafayette attests that a sloppy, inconsistent investigation attributed to 3 of the 9 charges alleged by Deputies Beavers and Williford and that evidence was never properly preserved by the Lafayette County Sheriff's Department for the purposes of trial. On December 3rd, 2021, affiant filed a cover page in motion seeking complete dismissal of conviction rendered and citing well-cited and established federal and state law supporting his position that his due process rights had again been violated by the county and that the new convictions must be set aside. On December 6, 2021, affiant had discovered that the assigned judge, Kent Smith, had once again been changed in the system to reflect John Kelly Luther. In a non-threatening way, non-accusatory way, affiant simply tried to get an understanding of where or who could be responsible for this important record supposedly randomly assigned via algorithm changing. Circuit Court Clerk Jeff Busby got highly defensive and advised China Sinervo to not answer any of affiant's questions when affiant was simply fulfilling his civil duty in petitioning the government for redress of a major grievance. At this time, Busby gets on his cell phone and presumably contacts Sheriff Joey East, who within approximately 5 minutes' time is captured on video pulling up, getting out of his car, and telling affiant to not go back into circuit court unless he had something to file, because he was disturbing their business. The following day, December 7th, 2021, East reported to Communicare employee Rachel Alcorn knowingly false and damning statements in order to get Communicare to seek judicial commitment of affiant based on the lies given. The affidavit is approved and signed off by Judge Lawrence Little, and immediately after, 2 deputies go on the hunt to find and take the affiant into custody on the newly signed writ. This happened shortly after, as affiant, his wife, and stepdaughter arrive home and is captured on video. Affiant states the judicial commitment was fraudulent, stemmed from false information reported by the Lafayette County Sheriff's Department, in particular its Sheriff, Joey East, in order to cover up a matter of concern which affiant was seeking answers to, and that this particularly filed matter in circuit court is a matter of interest to the Lafayette County Sheriff, adding motive behind the highly immoral move involving the communication of lies to Alcorn. This was a dangerous attack on the freedoms and liberties of a private citizen and a member of the press during the commission of constitutionally protected activity. Sheriff Joseph B. East, you are alleged to be in violation of your oath of office, the national and state constitutions, and in clear violation of the following laws and statutes. Number 1, Section 802 of the Patriot Act, which clearly defines a domestic terrorist. 2, Title 4, U.S. Code 101, oath by members of legislatures and officers. 3, 18 U.S. Code 241, conspiracy against rights. 4, 18 U.S. Code 242, deprivation of rights under color of law. 5, 18 U.S. Code 1038, false information and hoaxes. 6, 18 U.S. Code 1001, statements or entries generally. 7, 18 U.S. Code 1503, influencing or injuring officer or juror generally. 8, 18 U.S. Code 1512b, engages in misleading conduct. 9, 18 U.S. Code 2071, concealment, removal, or mutilation generally. 10, 26 U.S. Code 7214, offenses by officers and employees of the United States. 11, 42 U.S. Code 1983, civil rights action for deprivation of rights. 12, 42 U.S. Code 1985, conspiracy to interfere with civil rights. 13, 42 U.S. Code 2000A, Civil Rights Act of 1871. 1442 U.S. Code 1986, Action for Neglect to Prevent. Section 802 of the USA Patriot Act expanded the definition of terrorism to cover domestic, as opposed to international terrorism. A person engages in domestic terrorism if they do an act dangerous to human life that is a violation of the criminal laws of a state and or of the United States, if the act appears to be intended to intimidate, coerce a civilian population, or number 2, influence the policy of a government by intimidation or coercion.